Coming up on Inspired to Live.
What has been your biggest spiritual struggle as a couple?
Oh, we know
We know
that.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest, all right? We found out that like fornication was a sin, and it's like it didn't make sense to me because I was like, but I love her. Well, if you love him, then it's okay. He was like, that's not what the Bible says. And so
he wasn't really like in church and like seeking the Lord and praying and going and doing these things. But remember, I had told you like freshman year I had started going and I had started like changing. Like, yeah, I'm on this God team. I'm telling Sean, I'm like, if you don't get with it, if you don't come with me, if you don't start doing this, we done.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Vincent J. McCaskill, Senior Pastor of By God Inspired Fellowship in South Haven. We're just a few minutes from Memphis, right across the state line on Airways Boulevard at 7065 Airways Boulevard. Well, you know, love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't boast. It is not proud. It holds no records of wrongs. You know, it always protects. It always perseveres. You know, one thing that the Apostle Paul was trying to explain to us in 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8, what true unconditional love is. And the world has really perverted what love is. And it's impacting our younger generation as they are struggling with love and dating and trying to find the right mate and to move on with their lives. So today, my daughter, who's a junior filmmaking major at Spelman College, produced this documentary film that talks to a couple of young couples who are trying to live a holy life as they date. I want you to pay attention to this. Get your kids, get your teenagers to watch this because you can be holy as a young person. Love always perseveres.
God, thank you for this entire project, this vision, God. I ask that your presence manifest throughout this room, God. Remove any distractions, remove anything that the devil may try to throw in, God. We know that this project and this whole film is going to be giving you glory, so just come through and invade this space in your sweet presence. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
whew, starting out there. All right, bet.
I'm glad you've come. Maybe you can help me figure out what's going on in my mind. Take a seat, cause this could take a long time. Whoa, the picture's clear. Maybe it is over there, but it ain't over here. But stick around, cause just for you, I'm gonna break everything down, yeah.
What is 3 months, or 3 years and...
Like 3 years, 7 months.
Okay, so we first met each other sophomore year. What was that, Mr. Gibson class? I mean, I've been knowing of April. Like, we've been knowing each other for like, what, since middle school?
Yeah, like we've
Knowing
been
of
going
each
to
other.
the same school district.
Yeah.
We was in the same junior high, like 7th grade. We knew each other, but we wasn't like cool, like close or nothing.
But yeah, April was always outgoing, and I'm always the person that was just chill. April was just, you know, just April.
What drew me to Deshaun? Deshaun he was funny. Like, he was funny and he was just cool.
How did I pursue April?
Tell the truth.
To be honest, April pursued me. If that's that's crazy, but like she did, cause I guess I was taking forever to make it official. You know, she was like, she told one of my best friends now. She told him basically if I don't make it official, you know, she's not gonna talk to me no more. So I'm like, dang, I need to start wasting her time. You know, I'm really playing with you. I got a good person right here.
Mm-hmm. We was 17, so it's like stuff that you hear now, like the man's supposed to pursue the woman, like stuff like that. That was like foreign, because like I said, I was in a single parent household. My mama had never had no boyfriend or nobody she was talking to coming in and out of the house. So I didn't have a daddy to tell me how I was supposed to go. I didn't have a mama that was showing me how I was supposed to go. So I was like, you know, what can it hurt if I just be like, hey, I like you. Like, what's up with us?
About to be a year.
Yeah, January.
Let me go back to the So, the first time I seen Victoria, it was at King Chapel for the brother-sister exchange.
You know what's crazy? I wasn't even gonna go. I wasn't gonna go because I had it done. I wasn't gonna, because I was supposed to be a PAL. I was a PAL, but I had cheer camp also. Like, I thought I was gonna be able to balance PAL and cheer camp, but little did I know cheer camp was from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. and PAL is also like during those times I thought I was gonna be able to like leave and like go and do that stuff. And so like a part of being PAL, like you have to take care of like the incoming like freshmen. And so like I wasn't even like, the last thing is like the brother sister exchange. And I actually wasn't even gonna go. And then I saw one of our friends, they were like, are you coming to brother and sister exchange? I was like, no. And I was like, actually, I think I may. So then I just put on a dress, like we had to wear all black. I put on the black dress, and then I just went.
Yep.
Yeah.
She had on a black dress and like a little neon,
yellow,
wrapped
like
around her legs, like heels. And so I'm with my friends and everything. And then Victoria, he was walking outside or something. And they said, who was that? And then I said, hold on. I said, no, this is me. I got this one. And so I tried to find a way to talk to her without actually trying to like talk to her, but be smooth with it. And so we was like in a group, and then we was talking about like where everybody from and everything. I said, the best city, Atlanta. And then she said, no, it's Charlotte. I said, oh, you from Charlotte?
Yeah, trying to get inside.
And then she said, yeah. She said, yeah. And that was it.
And that was it.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. That was in the conversation. I'm like a very independent person. So like, I'm like very independent. And so as far as like being vulnerable, it wasn't there. So like.
Let me tell you something. When we first started talking, get to know each other stage, you know, I'm very affectionate. So I would try to like hold her hand or something. She would legit snap my hand away. I'm like, dang. No, that's how independent she was.
We keep it strictly, business casual until further notice.
She gave me a little side hug.
Yeah.
Before I met April, I wasn't there. Like, I knew who God was, but I didn't necessarily like go to church or grow up in the church, so I wasn't really familiar with God.
Before Deshaun, I would say, like, I grew up in the church. Sunshine Band, Usher Board, Welcome Committee, all that. I did all that. And I wasn't I was spiritual. Like, I definitely knew that all the things that I had got in life was because of God, but I wasn't acknowledging him like I should have been.
Before I met Victoria, I grew up in church. My dad's a pastor. So I had a good foundation early on, just being like brought up in church and being brought up to like love God. But I would put it this way. Once I got to college, I feel like college is like kind of like the devil's playground. So a lot of times when people come to college, they kind of lose their way a little bit. So when I came to college, it wasn't that I didn't get off track, but I definitely let things get in the way between me and God's relationship.
Okay, so as far as me, grew up in the church, went to Christian school literally since I could walk. Preschool, lower school, middle school, like all of that. So yeah, basically I like had to figure out like how to make my faith my own, but also like not make sure that I was basing my faith like solely based off of my parents' faith.
I went to college and I had found this church, but Deshaun wasn't here with me when I first came to college. So he didn't really know much about it, and he didn't really have any impact on that journey. Like I don't want to say like he had nothing to do with it, but he wasn't here when I actually started
Started going to the believer's house.
Started going to that church and started like seeking out God for myself. He wasn't here with that.
I realized that a lot of things in my life was just like in place where God should have been, and I wasn't really a Christian. Like if I didn't give my life to Him, I couldn't really just be a Christian, you know. So once I was able to overcome those things, we actually had overcome a lot of things together as well. But it took a while. It was definitely a process. But
Yeah.
I say once we finally like got over certain things that were just like hindering us, like both individually and together with God, it was able to just like we were able to just see clearly finally, and I was able to see all the lies that I was living. I was able to like see truth for what it really is. I was able to really understand who God is, because it's the difference between like knowing of God and actually knowing Him. And so once I did that, I was just able to like really just walk in my purpose and not be ashamed anymore of who I am, who God wants me to be.
So I was like, okay, when I get to Atlanta, like that's what I really want to do because my high school, they talk about like how people go off to college and like they lose their faith, and like that's not anything that like I want to experience or that I want to do. So that was like my prayer going into college, and just like making sure that like I stayed headstrong, like I didn't lose focus of like God and like whatever He had, for me. Went to church and stuff, but was still like doing other stuff like on the weekdays, on the weekends, but like waking up early in church and on Sundays going
Double life.
Yeah, it was literally living a double life.
I still struggle with, I feel like I'm not handsome or, a good looking sometimes. So I still struggle with that. And also my weight, I feel like that plays a part with me, like my anxiety, depression sometimes too. So I think they kind of deal with, go with the struggles of, the stuff I be going through.
I think for me, it'll definitely be looks. Sometimes, yeah, I gained a lot of weight when I came to college.
Both did.
Then another thing that has really, I've been grappling with for a while is that sometimes I feel as though I'm too independent. Deshaun to be like, let me do this for you. I'm like, nah, I can do it myself. That's because how I came up. Didn't have nobody doing it for my mama, so I'm just used to doing it by myself. And so that sometimes is scary, because it's like, if there's somebody, and he'll say, if I'm supposed to be with you, why you won't let me help you?
Like, when April with her looks, I tell her all the time, like, she looks good. Like, no matter how much, if you gain a lot of weight or you lose a lot of weight, you still gonna look good no matter what. So I try to encourage her on that part.
Affirmations.
Yeah, just to let her know, like, you're not ugly. You're beautiful.
And then, for me, when Deshaun seemed to be battling something, I can feel it. Like, I can feel it on him, like in his spirit, like it's just in the atmosphere. Or like even like if it's over text or something, like the what is it? Not the language, but the tone, like stuff like that, I can tell. And so I just try to reaffirm him, like, I know what it seemed like, but you know what God said is for you. Like, I know it feel like you struggling in school, trying to balance a job, church, school. But God wants you to realize, like, I'm just telling him this constantly, like, this ain't all in vain, like, this ain't for nothing. And so I think it's very important to have God, like, in the midst of your relationship, because without God, we are nothing.
What has been your biggest spiritual struggle as a couple?
Oh, we know that.
We know that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest, all right? Before we even really made it official, we had sex, and it wasn't until after the fast, because we met in August, September, and then we started talking late September, and then everything. But we never made it official, and then
until January.
Yeah, and then an instance happened when we ended up not talking, and then we came back together because I had hit her because I was just in my feelings, like, dang, how'd I mess this one up? And then we ended up working it out, and so once we worked it out, we finally made it official, and then it was like
picking back up, like it was literally like nothing.
So after the fast, I just started feeling like very condemned, because during the fast I was reading the Bible like every day, and I was like, it's like I was hearing everything for the first time, even though I grew up in church and all this stuff, but it was like I really dig into it like seriously, and I wasn't just reading little verses, but I was reading like the whole Bible and everything. And then I had a conversation with my mentor, his name is Xavier, and we was just talking about sex, and I was like I know that, I mean, because I recently found out that like fornication was a sin, and it's like it didn't make sense to me because I was like, but I love her, or if you love him, then it's okay. He was like, I mean, that's not what the Bible say.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it was just a period of like trying to find a loophole around it, but I just couldn't find a loophole. Even though like, of course, sex is pleasurable, but it's like, if it's not contained, then there's a lot of destruction that can come from it. Yeah. And so once I realized all that, I said, oh my goodness, well, now I gotta make a change. And so I was very scared to tell her because I didn't know how she was gonna react, because at this point we still wasn't, I mean, we both knew we loved God, but we didn't really like talk about God like that. And so when I brought it up to her, she was like, oh yeah, I've been feeling the same way. And then I was like, oh, okay. And so after that, I mean, we told ourselves we was gonna stop. Of course, that didn't work.
Or like we didn't do it while we were fasting, of course.
Yeah.
And then like afterwards,
So I mean, so I'm telling you, from January all the way to like July, we were struggling with this because we would be good, go strong for like a few weeks or a month, and then we drink. We're all drinking, and then hormones come out, and then we fall into it that night, and then I feel guilty, and then I get quiet and everything. And she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like,
"It's not even like I already knew what's wrong. I just wanted him to say say it."
Yeah, so
because I already knew.
It was just a lot of wrestling with this one thing, and then finally in the summer it got to the point like where we just had to like either
give an ultimatum,
either call it quits or we gonna do this the right way.
Yeah.
So like. Yeah, ever since then, like it's actually been great, and it's crazy how like when you.
It's been like two different like relationships. Like we have this part of our relationship, and then like from like January, July, and then like from July until we get married.
And it's crazy how sex can blind you, and you think that you really love somebody, but it's really just a lust.
Yeah,
you know, like because now I'm like, oh, I actually do love you. Like I know it. I know it's love because I'm not blinded by sex.
Yeah.
Like I know that it's not just a passion. It's actually I actually care for you. I actually like care for everything that your history, everything that you've been through. Like, and it's like we also working as a team now to further the kingdom.
Yeah.
And I mean that's what God wants from couples to do, is to further His kingdom through like this.
Okay, can I tell a story on camera? So. Like Deshaun was talking about earlier, right? He wasn't really like in church and like seeking the Lord and praying and going and doing these things. But remember I had told you like freshman year I had started going and I had started like changing. You're like, yeah, I'm on this God team. So I'm telling Deshaun, I'm like, if you don't get with it, if you don't come with me, if you don't start doing this, we done.
So she basically gave me an ultimatum.
And that was wrong. And I didn't know it was wrong until like I had a friend tell me that was wrong. And he was just like, dang, like where this coming from? But I'm like, where I'm going, Jesus is gonna always get acknowledgement. And everything that I'm doing from here on out, God gotta be with me. And if we can't be unequally yoked. Like I can't be with you if you're not acknowledging Him. Because how I'm supposed to know that you praying over the house, over the kids? I can't do that, you know? And not to say that all people that's like keeping God at the center is perfect, but it's just, I can't do none of this without Him because I wouldn't be nowhere without Him. So the next stages that I go, He has to be there. It was wrong for me to do that, but I'm just happy to know that like Deshaun do give God the glory. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was dead wrong.
Yeah, it made me feel a certain type of way. It did. But like now it's just like, if she didn't give me that ultimatum, I wouldn't be going to church, you know, really finding God. So.
Deshaun has made me better in a lot of ways. He has taught me to cool out, relax, stop getting so mad, stop letting stuff bother you so much. Because, I get bothered. I take a lot of things personal. I get very aggressive, not like hitting, but like yelling. He's just like, cool, chill out. Cause he just, if y'all know Deshaun, y'all know he just chill, like he just cool. Or like even like going back to the affirming things, like stuff when I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this. Of course I'm praying, but it's good to have somebody next to you that's also like, you got this. Like, come on, why would you doubt your ability to do well?
April has changed me tremendously. She makes me more outgoing. I'm more of a standoff person and stay to myself. April, she pushes me to go out there and really do like extra things more than the normal and what I say. So that's really like the main thing she changed in my life.
I'm not gonna do this right now. I think from Victoria, I learned how to look. Stop. Come on, be serious.
I can't.
Come on.
Okay.
What I learned from Victoria, she just has like a kind spirit, and I think as like a Christian in this world, you just can't not love people, and just like the way she treats everybody. Like I watch everything. I peep everything. I watch how she treats my friends. I watch how she treats like just anybody that she meets, and it's just like it's always with love.
I think for me, it was just like seeing like his patience. He helped me to like just be still, or like just to like be more understanding. Really, he's just like very understanding, and like seeing like how much like he loves God is like really like it's just like it's everything really. It's just like it makes me just want to be a better person, like every aspect.
And then another thing is
he taught me how to cry.
Anyway, but another thing is
in a good way.
She just enjoys life. Like I don't really catch you just being like down, you know, because you know me. Like sometimes I'll be like I don't feel like talking right now, but like she's like I'll
be like, all right, let's get out this mood.
Like when Jesus said, the way he loves the church is how like a man should love his wife. Like I always let that like stick with me whenever I'm with Victoria, because I never want to like lose track of that, lose sight of like the goal of like what it's supposed to be like when I'm with her. And so right now I'm just trying to make sure that like you know we do everything we can do so we can prepare for marriage and everything, and I can continue to like you know just love her. But it's crazy because like I mean we don't. There's no doubt that like we've been married, like we know it, and so you know it.
No.
But
I think for me, because like, okay, so my mom raised me. So like, I didn't, like my dad didn't like grow up in the house with me, but like I know my dad, but like he didn't grow up like in the house with me. So like, I didn't really like see like a perfect or like prime example of like how a man is like supposed to love his like wife or stuff. So like, it's just like a really blessing, because a lot of people like take it for granted, and so like it's like, well, God, like why did you like let me, you know, like be in this relationship and like learn all these things? But it's just like because he loves us, and like because he wants us to experience this love, and like because he wants us to show like this love that he's given us to other people. So I think so, yeah.
lips appear. Not from fleshly desire, but the way his soul captures me. I'm in love with the way he speaks, softly like a peaceful melody. And all I can say,
Like you say, just read the Bible all day. But like, what do you guys do for fun? Like, what are some things that you guys enjoy?
Yeah, she's seen maybe like once a week. 2 days or once a week. I'm kidding.
You like to eat.
A lot. We're actually fasting right now, so we're trying to figure out, things. Those Krispy Kreme donuts right there, I would rate them.
I like to do that.
We joke around a lot.
We be playing.
A lot.
I actually don't know.
I ain't gonna be.
I was trying to think, what do we do for fun?
No, we go to Cal.
We go. Oh, we did go to PIA. Yeah. No, yeah. PIA tour. It was great because I mentioned it, or he mentioned to me something about it like a while back, and then I like been keeping up with it.
She texted my phone. She said, "Get dressed." I said,
Yeah.
Dressed. She said, "Wear something nice."
I was like,
all right.
I was like, nice casual. Don't like dress up.
I had
like,
some sweats. I said, just fine.
No, I
She
was like,
said,
absolutely not. Do not wear sweats. But because it was the same night of the kickoff jam, and I was like, well, do you want to go? And he was like, no.
I said, I'm not.
Yeah. So then I was like, perfect. So then we went there. He literally had like no idea, or like he knew like where we were, but like he didn't know like what was happening.
New Life. It's a church, and I'm like, okay, it's a concert. And so I seen like the picture of the people who, like the poets, and I said, no. I said, don't play with me. And then
That was like the best. It was so much fun.
it's a lot of like spiritual leaders that I look up to that was in that. So
that you made him just for me. I'm home, I'm finally home. I'm home, I'm finally home.
Well, that concludes this broadcast, and I'm so thankful that you stuck around to watch it, and I hope that you were enlightened by it. Do me a favor and stay connected to this ministry. Text BGI to 22828, BGI to 22828, and we're going to be sending this particular broadcast out to those who are a part of BGI Nation. We want you to be able to share it with anyone you think would benefit from this. This is a powerful documentary film, and I think that it will reach the heart of our young people, that they can see examples of young people who are trying to live holy for God in this generation where a society is telling them, have it your way. I'm Vincent McCaskill. God bless you.